You got no excuses. You got none. Nothing ever will be better for your mind, body, and spirit than some exercise. Those are simple things to do. In quarantine, out of quarantine, lost your job, didn't lose your job, rich, poor, fat, black, white, skinny, male, female, whatever. There's no reason to think about stuff like, I think I'm gonna start, just do it. I don't set out a lot of goals per se. I'm more a believer in continued progress. So my goal is always just to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. My interest lies in continually getting better and figuring out ways and figuring out how to have a capacity to always get a little bit better at everything. Better business. I want to execute on something and then move on to the next thing. But I don't hold a lot of expectations in the future, because I've learned for myself personally that a low to no expectation life is a life with low to no disappointment, because we're disappointed 100% of the times by the things that we're expecting to have happened. Expectations are the culprit. And so it doesn't mean that you can't have any goals. It just means that you need to be very realistic towards your goals, and you need to be very understanding of what it's going to entail to get to that goal. You know, having your thoughts and your actions aligning with your goals. And when they don't align with your goals, it just shows a lack of interest. But I'm not a real goal. I'm not heavy into goals. I'm not really big on I will write down inspirations. What I do care about is progress, and what I do care about is not being mentally attached to anything. You know, I don't need the gym to be open to function. I don't need the gym to be open to feel good. I can go and do a bunch of exercises out here, outside. I can be with nature, and I can have a lot of fun doing that. So that's what I shifted to, and I noticed a lot of you have shifted to that as well, because it's kind of all we got at the moment. You got no excuses. You got none. There's a lot of things that we've lost in this coronavirus, but something that and I think we've lost more. We've lost a lot of things, not just from the coronavirus, but also from the quarantine. But one thing that's the same. It was the same before the coronavirus, and it's the same right now. You haven't lost your ability to think, and you haven't lost your ability to have agency, to have power over what you think about certain things. You got no excuses. You got none. You may not always be able to have power and agency over the thoughts that come into your head, into your mind, but you can have agency over what you think about those thoughts, how you register those thoughts, how you interpret those thoughts, how you think about those thoughts. What are you going to do with that information? Right? What are you going to do with that knowledge? There's no scientific evidence that we are all so different. We are different, but we have more similarities than we do differences. We all breathe oxygen. We all need water. We all need calories. We all need protein, right? We have more similarities than we do differences. And maybe one person's body looks slightly different. Maybe one person's skin is slightly different. Maybe a particular ethnicity or race is more associated with being taller or shorter, or any number of things could be true, right? But the explanations for hating on other people, a good explanation is something that has words that carry weight. All the words carry weight, and all the words add up to something. That person doesn't know you. That person doesn't care about you. That person doesn't love you. For people that don't know anything about you, they don't know you, and so they're not making a legitimate suggestion. They're not saying anything that is helpful or useful to you. They're not giving you a good critique. They're just flat out judging you or making fun of you, right? And so you don't let other people's opinions, when you do let other people's opinions of you matter, then you're empowering them. You're giving them power. You're giving them some agency over you. Somebody calls you fat and you respond to it by saying, you admitted that you acknowledged that what they said is a problem for you. Because if you weren't fat and it wasn't a problem for you, you'd be like, huh? Talking to me? Like, that's doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. It's not smart. It's not educated. It's not a person of knowledge. It's not a person of higher learning. It's not a person of any real magnitude in this world. Somebody that wants to cut down other people. How do you let other people's opinions impact you? You don't. You reinterpret it in the brain. Somebody said something about you, somebody did something to you, and you have a reinterpretation. All happiness and success come from solving problems. You got no excuses. You got none. You want to try to solve the problem on the level at which it exists. All happiness comes from being able to solve problems, being able to assist yourself with solving your own problems, coming to solutions for yourself, assisting others to get to the root cause of their problems, showing them, hey, this is problematic, and then assisting them to solve the problem. How easy is it to pick out other people's problems? How easy is it to help solve somebody else's problems? Oh man, I'm way too fat. Or you can even say, hey dude, like, you're way too fat. Right? How easy is it to solve somebody else's problems that comes to you and they're all stressed out? And you can say, well, I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad that you brought up that you're stressed, because here's what I think. I think that part of the reason why you're stressed is that you're overweight. I think you need to exercise. I think you need to look into some good nutrition. I think you need to get better sleep. I want to assist you with that. It's been something that's been helpful for me, right? And now you can have a conversation. Now you can conversate about it. All happiness comes from problem solving. And one of the biggest solutions and one of the greatest things that you can ever learn, in my opinion, is to try to solve the problems on the level at which they exist. And there's no greater knowledge that you'll ever learn. There's nothing greater that you'll ever absorb in this world than understand there's one thing. You should be in search of, it's called behavior modification. Because if you can't modify the behaviors that you've had in the past that have led to bad habits, then you cannot put into practice the new knowledge that you may have acquired. You got no excuses. You got none. Weird times, a lot of weird things to think about, but most people are like out of work, but there's still other opportunities for work. And so if you put your mind to it and think about what those things are, then you can get back out into the workforce, in the workplace. The key to happiness, the key to success in life is problem solving. So you figure out how to solve your problems. You think that money's going to be an issue coming up? Figure out a way to make it. Figure out a way to make more money. Don't expect anything from anybody. Live a low expectation life. At least that's worked really well for me. And if possible, live a no expectation life, and also live a life of acceptance. Be accepting of the fact that anything and every single thing that you have can be taken away from you. It more than likely will at some point in your life. Your wealth, your health, everything, your education. You can get knocked in the head and forget everything. You can fall down a flight of stairs and forget you know, 8 years of going to medical school or whatever. You know, no one's special. No one makes it out alive, right? But for myself, I've learned that a low expectation life, I don't have expectations of anything. I want myself to do well, and I want to improve, and there's certain things that I want to do. There's things I enjoy doing, but those things are going to get done, and if they don't get done, because I wasn't expecting it to happen, when it doesn't happen, if a gym is closed and I can't get my exercise in for the day, I don't trip. I don't freak out about it. Go and move on to the next thing. You know, the events that happen, the things that happen to us every single day are just always open to interpretation, and you can view them whatever way you want, but it's my view, it's my opinion that the best way to view them is to view, is this a problem, and if it is, figure out how to solve it. You know, I don't want to live a life that's half dead. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Please make sure you share this video. I'm out of here. We got no excuses. We got none.